Drew.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about, from a few weeks ago, the Green New Deal.
Yes, we did not talk about that.
Now, I want you to be a sober voice of reason here.
Yeah.
And tell me why I'm not thinking correctly on something.
Okay.
If we're talking about climate change and we're talking about global warming,
Yeah.
and the word global warming has the word globe in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as far as the footprint of the globe, at least, and the populace as well, are not taking up half the globe or even near half the globe.
No, I think we're like 5% or something, aren't we?
And other folks that are developing,
India and China.
We're sort of not developing. We're developed, but
Yeah.
India and China, I don't know, maybe parts of Africa or something like that, are developing, and thus putting a bigger footprint, carbon footprint down than, and we are much closer to being sort of neutral in our greenhouse gases and things of that nature. How could we possibly? So I'll make it much simpler. If there's a house and there are 10 houses on the block, and we're one of those houses, and we're recycling 50% of our glass and plastic and everything else, and everyone else is just defecating in the street and just defecating in shoeboxes and throwing it at cars that are passing by the street.
Fine.
And somebody comes to us and goes, we need to get you from 50% recycling to 100% recycling in the next 10 years.
Right.
And as they're telling you this, someone's chucking another shoebox full of shit at a UPS truck that's going by. Yeah. And you go, okay, that's fine. And it's ambitious. And it's definitely not going to hurt.
Right.
But what's going on the street is people are just shoveling feces out in the street and burning their trash in the front yard.
We need to do our fair share. We need to do what's right.
Well, I don't think, look, we're at 50%.
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them.
I want you to play devil's advocate.
We need to take care of our own house.
I'm not asking you to be sarcastic. We should get from 50% and we should aim for higher. But how much is it really going to change the street we're living on?
None.
It's not. Well, really. Climb outside your body and convince me that it would.
That it would?
Yes. I mean, what? Other than the narcissism of thinking our house controls everything on the street.
The only good I can sort of argue for is not a part of that metaphor, which is the idea of having unlimited energy resources at our disposal because we've planned for that. The problem is the market forces aren't there yet for that to happen. They're cheaper, more efficient energy sources that have very limited effect on your street that are still perfectly good, and they're way less expensive, and therefore the market gravitates towards those.
Right.
And in terms of helping people raise the boats and helping people earn living and increase their wages, that's the way that's going to happen by not spending a ton of dough over here on energy that may or may not be efficient, as opposed to helping rise all boats economically.
Okay.
But their plan is that the economics are going to create more jobs and this and that somehow that's going to magically be the thing that raises the boats. I don't see it because it just doesn't – you can never force a market in a given direction. I don't know of any time whenever that has worked. When you've had a much higher level efficiency in one direction and you force the market in another – it always goes back. I mean, China's learning this. China tries to manipulate its own economy. It can't, and it's a controlled economy.
Yeah. I don't get why they're all against nuclear. I'm like, if you want all electric cars, then build some nuclear power plants
100%.
And power those
because the word
cars.
nuclear is in it. Scary.
Okay.
Scary.
Well, it seems like if you're a little more consistent, you'd be for that.
Right.
All right.
I agree.